It was a humid afternoon in the Ghanaian village of Kpando, where the rains had left the red earth slick with mud. Puddles dotted the roadside, reflecting the grey sky above. An old man named Papa Kwame sat on a rickety stool near the market path, his faded cloth shirt patched at the elbows and his sandals caked with dust. He looked weary but serene, resting after helping a trader sweep her stall. A sleek silver Mercedes rolled down the narrow road, its tires slicing through a deep puddle. A wave of muddy water surged, drenching Papa Kwame from head to toe. He sputtered, wiping his face, as the villagers nearby gasped. "Yai? See what she's done," a woman cried, shaking her head. The car slowed, and a tinted window rolled down. A sharp female voice cut through the air. "Old man, why sit so close to the road? This isn't your farm." The window snapped shut, and the car sped off. The crowd muttered in outrage. "Such arrogance," said a man selling yams. "Papa Kwame is harmless. Why treat him so?" But Papa Kwame raised a hand, his voice calm. "Let it be. The heart reveals itself in time." The driver, a woman named Adwa, parked at a boutique in the nearby town of Ho. She stepped out, her heels clicking, and posted a photo online with the caption, "Queens don't bow to peasants." #royalty. Comments flooded in, "Slay, Adwa." She smirked, believing the poor were mere obstacles in her path to greatness. That evening, Papa Kwame trudged into a grand house on the outskirts of Kano. The mansion gleamed with polished wood floors, modern furniture, and walls adorned with Ghanaian art. His son, Kofi, a successful entrepreneur, looked up from his laptop. "Papa, you're soaked in mud again. Why do you keep doing this?" Papa Kwame sank into a chair. "Kofi, I met a woman today, proud but cruel. She splashed me and mocked me." Kofi sighed. "Papa, you don't need to sit by the road, pretending to be a beggar. We have everything here." The old man's eyes twinkled. "I won't stop, Kofi, until I find a wife for you. You're 35, yet you refuse to marry." Kofi groaned. "Papa, I'm seeing someone." Papa Kwame leaned forward. "Who is she?" "Her name's Adwa," Kofi said hesitantly. "She's beautiful, ambitious. But she's harsh, Papa. She belittles people, spends my money on flashy things to show off." Papa Kwame frowned. "Does she bring you peace?" Kofi looked away. "Sometimes." "Bring her here," Papa Kwame said firmly. "Let me see her true self, not the mask she wears for you." Kofi nodded reluctantly. "All right, this weekend. But don't scare her off." Papa Kwame smiled. "I only seek the truth." The next day, Papa Kwame sat outside a bustling Kando market, a one bowl at his feet. He didn't beg, just watched the world pass. A familiar silver Mercedes screeched to a stop, and Adwa emerged, her sunglasses gleaming. Spotting Papa Kwame, she sneered. "You again? Dirty old man, sitting like a lost goat. Don't you have shame?" Before Papa Kwame could respond, a young woman with a basket of mangoes stepped forward. "Enough," she said, her voice steady. Adwa turned, smirking. "And who are you?" "I'm Efwa," the woman replied. "This man is old enough to be your father. Show respect." Adwa laughed. "Respect? For this beggar? You must be as poor as he is." Efwa's eyes flashed. "You're loud, not rich. Wealth is in character, not your car." Adwa's face twisted, but Efwa stood firm. "One day, you'll need this man's kindness, and you'll regret your words." Fuming, Adwa stormed back to her car and sped off. Efwa turned to Papa Kwame. "I'm sorry, Papa. I couldn't stay silent." He smiled warmly. Thank you, my daughter. Few speak with such courage. Efua sat beside him. I'm Efua, a teacher. I see you here often. Where do you stay? Hesitating, he said, in an old shed by the river. Her face softened. Papa, I could help you grow a small garden, yams, peppers. It could feed you, maybe earn a little. Papa Kwame's heart stirred. You'd do that for a stranger? Efua nodded. Kindness costs nothing. They talked, then as she left, Papa Kwame whispered, could she be the one? That evening, Papa Kwame returned home beaming. Kofi, I met a woman today, Efua. She defended me against that proud Adwa, and then offered to help me farm. Kofi raised an eyebrow. Farm? Papa, you don't need to farm. Farming is my joy, Papa Kwame said. And Efua, she's gold. No wealth, but a heart full of peace. Kofi sighed. Papa, Adwa's coming tomorrow to meet you. Papa Kwame's face hardened. Let her come. But I've seen true kindness today. The next morning, Adwa arrived at the mansion, her heels echoing. She surveyed the house, impressed. Nice place, Kofi. Not bad. Then her eyes fell on Papa Kwame, seated calmly. Her smile vanished. You. Papa Kwame nodded. Yes, me. Kofi frowned. You know my father? Adwa stammered, I didn't know he was your father. Papa Kwame's voice was icy. You splashed mud on me, called me worthless. Twice. Kofi's face darkened. Is this true? Adwa's voice shook. I thought he was just a beggar. Kofi snapped, he's my father. Even if he were a beggar, is that how you treat people? Adwa's eyes welled up. I'm sorry, sir. Papa Kwame stood. You're sorry because of who I am, not for what you did. True kindness doesn't wait for titles. Kofi turned to Adwa. We are done. She pleaded, but he shook his head. Go. She left, tears streaming. The next day, Kofi drove aimlessly, ending up near a quiet plot by the Volta River. He saw a young woman tending soil, her hands dusted with earth. She looked up and smiled. Good morning. Kofi approached. You're farming here? I'm Efua, she said. I'm starting a garden for an old man I met. Kofi was struck by her warmth. I'm Kofi. Can I help? She laughed. With those clean hands? All right, let's plant some yams. They worked together, laughing, and then Kofi felt a peace he'd never known. Later, Papa Kwame invited Efua to their home. She arrived, awe-struck by the mansion. Papa, you live here? Before he could answer, Kofi appeared. Their eyes met, and Efua gasped. You. Papa Kwame chuckled. My daughter, this is my son, Kofi. Efua's mouth fell open. You are testing me? Papa Kwame shook his head. I was seeking truth. You showed kindness to a beggar. That's rare. Kofi stepped forward. Efua, I felt something real when we met. I want to know you more. Efua smiled, tears in her eyes. I felt it too. Weeks later, Kofi and Efua grew closer. But Adwa, consumed by jealousy, hired a thug named Kojo to frame Kofi with illegal goods and harm Efua and Papa Kwame. Unbeknownst to her, Kojo owed Kofi a debt. Kofi had funded his sister's education years ago. Instead of following through, Kojo recorded Adwa's plot and brought it to Kofi. The police arrested Adwa at a whole nightclub. In court, her recorded voice echoed, plotting ruin and mocking Papa Kwame. She wept, claiming it was a mistake, but the judge sentenced her to 12 years. Kofi and Efua visited her village where Kofi knelt before her parents. I want to marry Efua, and I'll bring you to Pando. You've toiled enough. They blessed the union, tears flowing. Kofi and Efua married in a vibrant ceremony, with Pando's villagers dancing and singing. On their honeymoon in Cape Coast, they strolled the beach, hand in hand. Is this real? Efua whispered. Kofi kissed her forehead. It's real, and it's forever. The village buzzed with their story, the billionaire son and a humble teacher, united by kindness. Papa Kwame, now tending a small garden with Efua, smiled at the sky. The heart always finds its home.